What up, welcome to another episode of BrandonJaneauShow. As you know, I am BrandonJaneau. Like always on all podcast platforms ever. BrandonJaneauShow. Social media, Instagram, Threads, BrandonJaneau, Facebook, The BrandonJaneauShow, and of course, uh, YouTube channel. Oh, TikTok, BrandonJaneauShow. Go follow me on all those social media platforms. Yeah. Really, where you go is the YouTube channel, BrandonJaneauShow YouTube channel. Um, like the vids, comment, all of that, man, on the YouTube channel. It helps in algorithms. Yeah. So let's get into it, man. Tonight, it's wrestling life. So many things that's going on. So many people and their feelings. Um, so yeah, a couple topics I want to talk about for this week comes to wrestling life. Started off with this. So Brock Lesnar is back. Brock Lesnar is back. He is officially back in WWE. Came back Sunday at the end of SummerSlam night to attack John Cena. And it seems like that's either going to be the Clash of Paris match, which it seems like it's going to be the Clash in Paris match. Um, so reports are that WWE cleared Brock Lesnar of all of the legal things that was going on. If you don't know, if you've been living under a rock, Brock Lesnar was named, excuse me, was named in the Vince McMahon, was named in the Vince McMahon trial. Allegations was thrown at Brock Lesnar from Janelle Grant. Uh, yeah, listen, I'm not here to talk about the trial. I'm not here to talk about Vince. I'm not here to talk about what Brock maybe did. I'm here to talk about the wrestling side of this shit. Brock being back, and I saw this Sunday, and I see so many people being like, man, I'm done with WWE. I'm done with WWE. Y'all say this shit about every fucking story of every fucking thing you do not like about WWE. You say you're done with it, and then you still complain about it. So you can't complain about something that you don't watch. So clearly you're gonna still watch the shit. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. None of us, none of us have this godly moral compass that we just we just can't we just can't believe somebody could just walk back into a company without any actual shred of proof that he did anything. Now, in a wrestling sense, if you don't think Brock is, you don't like Brock being bad because it feels like okay, WWE is just going right back to what Vince used to do, which is always call up the part timers, get the part timers on TV, give the belt to the part timers. Uh, and the booking decisions would just go straight to the bigger name, which is Brock Lesnar. They're just gonna throw a title on Brock Lesnar. He's gonna hold it for 355, 377 days, and all this other shit. And no, do I think that it's possible? Possibly. But if the reports are also true that maybe Brock Lesnar's last match will be next year in Minnesota at SummerSlam, which is his hometown, how much longer could he really be doing this? Brock is not gonna be on every fucking thing. So if this is the truth that he's also possibly about to retire next year, I can see it. I can see it. I can see Brock retiring next year. I can see Brock's last match being next year. I can totally see it. Brock is damn near what, 50? It's crazy to think Brock is damn near 50. That is fucking crazy. But Brock is back, man. And to these fans that, like I said, have this fake ass moral compass, you do not have a moral compass. You're just looking for a reason to say, I don't like WWE. And if that is the case, turn it the fuck off and go watch something else. There are multiple wrestling companies. that you can watch. AEW, for example, TNA, AAA. There are so many NWA. There are so GCW. There are so many wrestling companies nowadays where you can just type it on the phone and just watch it. You do not have to sit here and say WWE this, WWE that. For those that understand why Brock is probably back, and that's probably for the John Cena heel turn, the John Cena retirement tour. That is one of John Cena's, you know, most impactful rivals. I mean, literally, they had a match at Backlash in 2003 when John Cena was still on the come up, and Brock was the guy. I mean, so I'm not surprised that that happened. Like Brock being back is not surprising at all. And I think people that are in their feelings over this decision, get the fuck out your feelings. Get out your feelings. Like it's just there's no place for wrestling in feelings. Like I'm sorry, like there's just no place for it. For you to have a moral compass in wrestling, you clearly did not grow up like we grew up. You didn't grow up like I grew up. You didn't grow up watching the shit I grew up watching in wrestling. Like you just didn't do it. So for you to now have this ungodly moral compass for like WWE and how they move, but most of your favorite wrestlers are Republicans. Undertaker is a Republican. Shawn Michaels is probably a Republican. Like, bro, there's too many wrestlers that have been Republicans, and you are sitting there trying to make it about a mega thing. I don't give a fuck about Trump. I don't give a fuck about Trump. This is the same man that was literally at a WrestleMania battling Vince McMahon over fucking $1 billion, like the battle of the billionaires. Like, bro, we watched this shit for years, and now you're surprised the WWE is supporting Donald Trump. The motherfucker's in the WWE Hall of Fame. What the fuck are you talking about? Like it's just retarded. You like I said, the IWC. You think you're smart, and you're not. You're not even fucking intelligent enough to even get mad at the shit. The shit you actually should be mad at is Brock Lesnar coming back, and is this the decision that they're gonna start trying to give him titles, and that's not really what's gonna happen. I don't think Triple H is that fucking stupid. I don't think he's that fucking dumb. And if he was, he would have gave The Rock what he wanted for WrestleMania 40, which was to beat Roman Reigns and take the belt. I don't think he's that damn stupid. I don't think he's Vince level of dumb. Vince was just so stupid. He was just so bonded to, you know, part timers. I shit to the point where he killed his own creations and shit. Like, yeah. Which leads me to the man that Brock Lesnar attacked, and that's John Cena. John Cena turned back face this past Friday and went into his match against Cody Rhodes as a complete and utter babyface. Super Cena was back. Um, which leads to people. I've seen some people say, "Well, he should have just never turned heel in the first place." Was the heel turn just that damn? Like he should have just never turned heel. I have been on record numerous times and said maybe he should have just waited to turn heel at WrestleMania. He should have just turned heel at WrestleMania. Here's why I say the heel turn should have happened. Now, where it happened and why it happened, we could have a whole nother discussion. I've had discussions on this. I've literally said this numerous times. The Rock being a part of the storyline did not make sense and it didn't need to happen, especially that way. The Rock didn't want to be a part of it. He should have never ejected his ass into it. He should have never even agreed to have John Cena go heel. He should never agreed to have Cody go heel. Excuse me. He shouldn't agree to any one of those guys being part of being a heel because he should have never been in the story. John Cena turning heel needed to happen. Well, it needed to happen because despite what we got Sunday from Cody and John Cena, that still would have never worked in April. It just would never worked in April. It would have never worked in April. Like I said, it's a street fight, so a lot of smoke and mirrors. But in April at WrestleMania, like I have been saying, again, you do not know You have no clue about what the hell is going to happen. You had no clue about what John Cena was actually physically going to be once he got into the wrestling ring at that time and at WrestleMania. He was never going. He wasn't John Cena like we saw Sunday. He hadn't wrestled in years in a one-on-one match. Like I said, that match fit John Cena because it was the perfect match to have with John Cena. It's only so much you could do. The Believe it or not, weapons in WWE, certain bumps are not crazy like on weapons. Like going through a table and shit like that's not as crazy as people think. The heel turn needed to happen. And anybody that's now saying, "Oh, it should never happen," you are lying your ass off. All of us were like, "Damn, we can have babyface Cena versus babyface Cody. That would be fucking boring." I'm not about to go back on my word because the heel turn just fucking sucked. Like, no, it needed to happen. It definitely needed to happen. I have said this numerous times. It should have happened at WrestleMania. That's the only thing I do say, and I stand up by that. It should have just happened at WrestleMania. And then when he turned face, it would have been more impactful because he did it on his own. The heel turn sucked because The Rock just got the fuck out the storyline. He did not want anything to do with it. And then your bald headed ass go on Pat McAfee's show and be like, "Oh, we can always go back to it." No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not going back to that shit. Why? Why are we going back to it? What's the point? You are not going to be a part of this storyline, dude. And you don't want to be. That's the fucking problem. But should Cena have turned heel? Yeah, he should have turned heel. The moment itself probably was, like I said, the moment was great. The follow up sucked. Which brings me to also something I need to talk about, which is the booking right now in WWE. Now, last night SummerSlam follow up was cool. I don't think it was super crazy. Um, it was cool. It was alright. I mean, there was really nothing to really get psyched about on that show. Like, there really wasn't nothing. I mean, Rusev and Sheamus, but that's about fucking it. Like, they go out there and ball. That's what they do. They put up triple doubles every time they go out there and wrestle each other. But the rest of that show was kind of just like whatever. Becky and Nikki Bella's promo against each other was cool. I mean, it is what it is. There was a lot of shit that was just not explained very well last night. And when you don't explain the stories and where we're going, it's very hard to follow it through. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Where are we going with these stories? What's the most impactful thing about these stories that I need to be very invested into? Which brings me to Triple H's booking right now. Triple H's booking has sucked. Oh, I'm a lie? You think I'm a lie? The one problem with Triple H's booking, I've been saying this, is he's cool to have long term booking. The problem is when shit goes left, like Liv getting hurt or set faking an injury or shit like that. You should have plans in place for this. For 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you've had Braun Breaker go out there and dominate. Last night, and listen, I get people gonna sit there and say, "Well, last night was great because Braun got his heat, Bronson Reed did his thing." You made Braun Breaker this just crazy ass dude, and at some point, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, particularly Braun Breaker, is going to be like, "Yo, why the fuck you didn't tell me you faked your injury, bro?" Which is going to kind of turn him back face, which is kind of stupid because if you're trying to make him heel, because at some point he's not gonna he's gonna be like, why the fuck did you not tell us that this was the plan? You could see it last night. He kind of was like a little bit hesitant to like really be around set last night. But what is really more to blame? Triple H's booking or TKO's greed? Because TKO has put Triple H booking kind of in a no man's land because you have scheduled too many pay-per-views, too many PLEs, one around AEW pay-per-views, whatever. And the second thing that you damn sure have scheduled these PLEs around is each other. You haven't given it enough time to breathe. The stories need to be told, and yet you have not given it enough time to actually be told, which brings the booking into a bad situation. This is the first time in months that you have at least enough time to actually tell somewhat of a reasonable stories for people. SummerSlam was August 2nd and 3rd. Clash in Paris is August 31st. You have enough time. That's at least a month of story to tell. At least 3 to 4 weeks of TV. That's enough time to tell a story, bro. I don't know what they are gonna do with these stories, and I have nothing. I have no idea where you're going next. It's clear as day. Roman about to take his break. Roman came out, did the job for Bronson Reed, got him heat, pushed him along, got him where he needed to be. Great. It seems like it's gonna be LA Knight and Punk versus setting them for the next couple weeks or next couple months. Fuck weeks, months. Fuck weeks, months. The one knock on Triple H is his long term storyteller. But at this time, it's kind of hard to tell us. It has to be long term story because TKO's greed has put you in a fucked up position. And now these dumbasses, because of all the money they made from SummerSlam, because again, WWE will always be the most attractive ticket in wrestling. It's just going to always be the most attractive ticket. We know these wrestlers. They're on cups. They're on cornflakes boxes. They're damn near everywhere. John Cena's in movies. He was the former WWE champion just a moment ago. Cody Rhodes is moving into movies. Roman Reigns is moving into movies. Rhea's on top. Like Liv is doing her shit. Like Bianca and even Montez is going on. Like it's a lot of fucking wrestlers. They ain't even gotta be the main fucking clog in the machine right now for WWE. Dominic Mysterio, Jacob Fatu. Like, like it's, ain't even gonna be the main clog in a fucking machine right now. They could just be in WWE and have somewhat of a role. And now you're hot. But this is the one thing. This is the one knock on TKO because they're fucking stupid. They don't understand. Like I've been saying about TKO as a business, wrestling business is different than the sports business. You cannot continuously think these fans are going to just continuously let you. Now again, we're fans. We are always going to be fans. We're always going to run, excuse me, and support our wrestling. We're going to always support it, but there is a price to pay at some point for how WWE is moving because of TKO's business acumen. You cannot move Survivor Series to 2 nights. You can't do it. You can't move the Royal Rumble to 2 nights. You can't do Money in a Bank for 2 fucking nights. You can't fucking do it. You're now showing your greed. And again, it's gonna have to be the fans, us, to not support 2 nights. Because it's stretching the booking out too much. I'm not sitting up here and saying Triple H's booking hasn't been bad because it's been very bad. There's no reason for Becky to have the belt still. Like I said, outside of Laura Victoria moving to SmackDown, which clearly it seems like, especially after last night, her telling like Bailey, like, I need to get the fuck out of this, whatever. I need to get out of this. That's clearly them moving her to SmackDown. There needs to be a draft. There needs to be new rosters, new shakeup, new everything. They need to be a draft because the same rosters ain't getting it done. There's a complete and utter mismatch. The women's division on Raw is incredibly great, while the women's division on SmackDown is severely fucking struggling. The tag teams on SmackDown is fucking killing it, while the tag teams on Raw don't even exist. They don't exist. It's too top heavy on Raw and SmackDown. There's no balance out after that. There's no balance. Dom has got the Intercontinental Championship. He's won the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. This man has defended the title against what? Penta and AJ. Penta and AJ. He defended it against Penta at Backlash. He defended against AJ at SummerSlam. The fuck are we doing? The fuck are we doing? Like, what the fuck are we doing? After and then saying there were the US titles. Solo and Jacob is in this rivalry. But at least SmackDown have some competitive people. Like, if Solo and Jacob move past each other, Solo could go against Damian Priest. Solo could go against Aleister Black. Solo could go against Carmelo Hayes. If they decide to let Andrade and Ray Phoenix break up and go do their own solo shit, they can do that. And they have Andrade and Ray Phoenix there. Look at Raw. Raw has no mid carders. Raw has no mid carders. AJ Styles, but AJ is more of a main eventer who just has to be in the mid card right now. But where's the mid carders for Raw? Where's the mid carders for Raw? After Dom and AJ, who's battling Dom after AJ? Finn? That's pretty much it. You have the mid carders. The other two mid carders that you could have had, you put them in a group together. You don't really know what the fuck to do with Jay. You're trying to make Sammy this fight hard face that's going to get a chance at the title. You got Rusev and Sheamus fighting each other right now over nothing. just having matches, which I'm assuming is going to lead to them eventually going for the Intercontinental Championship. I'm assuming because you did that with Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, which is the same goddamn thing you did with Carmelo Hayes and Andrade, which is a 7-match series. Like, we don't see this. Now you added Sammy to this, and this is another thing. The fuck you doing with Sammy? Like, you just threw him now in this rivalry for some apparent fucking reason, for no reason at all, because you have nothing to do with him. There's nothing else you can do with him until you're ready to throw him into the title, the world title picture. But it's like, bro, Sammy cannot be in these nothing ass storylines. Like, it just he got punched in the face, and now he's in a storyline with Rusev and Sheamus. That's fucking stupid. But there's no mid carders, or more so on SmackDown than there is on Raw, which is crazy to say. There's more on SmackDown than there are on Raw. You got 3 people playing one character. You got 3 people playing one character when you could have used at least 2 of them to be in the mid card. Leuven Kaiser and P. Dunne, or Leuven Kaiser and Tyler Bate, or P. Dunne and Tyler Bate. Somebody. This is the stupidity of the Triple H booking. I get that you don't know what you're doing in the sense because you're in the kind of situation, but this is the stupidity of a Triple H booking. Because like I said, you're too top heavy, and then you have nothing else to fill out the cards. You're now using Dragon Lee only because you got to promote him for August 16th, which is the AAA PLE that y'all got coming up. And after the PLE, you're gonna move Dragon Lee right back to where the fuck he was, which is backstage. That's a man that could have been used in the mid card. The booking in WWE sucked. They need to shake this shit up. They need a draft. They need a fucking draft. I'm not saying you have to move Drew McIntyre and all, but you need new rosters, bro. Tag team division on Raw sucks. The women's division on SmackDown sucks. You have more kind of mid carders on SmackDown than you do on Raw. You need a fucking shakeup. I'm tired of seeing the same fucking matches. I'm tired of seeing Jey Uso teaming with Sammy, teaming with, to go against fucking Judgment Day. Like, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of the bloodline. I'm sorry, MFT versus Jacob and Jimmy. I'm sick of this shit. Switch it the fuck up. Something's got to change. Something's got to change, bro. Something's got to change, bro. This is ridiculous. Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross has been reported that he is a free agent at the end of this year, at the end of this month. Well, actually, this weekend, I think they said is this weekend. His contract is officially up in WWE. He will be a free agent. Um, is it a loss for WWE? Yeah and no. I mean, yeah, because he's a genuine character that could get over. You don't really need too much smoke and mirrors with him. You could get just he could just go out there, cut a promo, or do whatever he needs to do and get himself over. I say no because even though he's great with the promos and his character work is amazing, his actually wrestling ability in the ring just doesn't match with what you need on a daily basis. He could easily become a Chad Gable in a sense in the ring. It's just his style just does not fit right now. I don't know what is going on. I don't get it. Like he is over, but nobody cares when the bell rings. It's like, and yeah, you're going to people cheer for him because they love him so much, but it's just like, what is he after the bell rings? Once the match starts, do you care? And that's where the problem kicks in. I truly believe what Darrell Karrion Kross' career more than anything on this planet, what Darrell Karrion Kross' career more than anything on this planet was him winning, beating Keith Lee, winning the NXT Championship. His Keith Lee's first real title defense was against Karrion Kross. Well, his second title defense was against Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross beat Keith Lee, but broke his arm, and he never was able to really recover from that. He never was able to recover from that. He never got off the ground from that. And that's just the facts, man. Do I think WWE needs to resign him? No, I don't. Because if you're not going to push him, what's the point of resigning him? If you're not going to push him up to at least the upper echelon of like where Seth is, or Brian and Bronson, or Punk, or LA Knight, like if you're not going to push him, then no, you shouldn't resign him. It doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we? Are you going to move him to SmackDown? And what's the point? What's the sense of it? I just don't. I just don't understand it. So no, I don't think you need to resign him. And last but not least, Seth Rollins faked his injury and is now back in WWE, and he is the champion. Listen, I am a Seth fan. I am a huge Seth Rollins fan. So what happened Saturday, I knew it was gonna happen. I'm a huge Punk fan, huge CM Punk fan. But what happened Saturday, I knew it was gonna happen. Seth faking his injury to pretty much try to get away from his ops, and then taking the belt away from Punk was cool. It was cool, man. Here's where I think the problem lies. The group works better without Seth. His group works better without him. Him being the leader does not work. The reason why the Shield works so well is because all three of those dudes knew their role and knew what they were doing. All three of them cut promos. All three of them said something. Set the start off, then John Moxley would get going, then Roman ended with "Believe that," and then the shit end. Like we be like, oh yeah. The reason why this doesn't work is because Seth and Paul Heyman are the only two people talking. So when, like I said, that little window of 3 weeks that we saw Bronson and Braun, and they had to figure out some shit to get themselves over, they figured it out. The problem is now you put back Seth back into the situation. You put Seth back into the situation, in the group again feels lackluster. Seth works better. That group works better without Seth. And it's crazy to sit there and say that, but it does. It works better without Set. It's crazy to sit there and say it works better without Set because it works better without Set. Yeah, that group works better without Set. I don't know what to say. The group works better without Set. And I love Set. I just don't think Set's a leader of a group type of guy. Why it worked well for him in the Shield is because again, like I said, he wasn't the only one. Like like he wasn't the only man in the Shield. And also the Shield was so young, and we had never seen something like that at that time. Where three different guys can all do different things. This group feels like it just doesn't fit. The pieces don't fit. I don't know what it is. Like I said, Bronson and Brian by themselves are great. Seth by himself is great. Put them all together and they suck. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like I love Seth, but this group doesn't work. It just doesn't fucking work. Brian is right back to being this fucking dog that is just there, and whenever he tells him to jump, he's gonna go high and he's gonna go. Same thing with Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed is now back to the background. Like it's like, what the fuck are we doing? And Bronson's actually gonna get more than Brian is nowadays because Bronson is more of a destructive force than Brian is. Brian can just spear the shit out you, and that's about it. This is why I kept also saying I think Seth should go to SmackDown. I think Seth would have fit SmackDown way better. You don't have to move the group back to. They can still be called Division, but he could be like, clearly I got to go to SmackDown now, but we're gonna handle our business separately because I trust that these dudes can handle this. And Paul could go wherever the fuck he wants to go. It's Paul fucking Heyman. Come on now. But this group don't work with Seth. I was watching last night and I'm like, this shit went right back to being very fucking boring. I was like, and Paul's talking, and I'm like, yeah, Paul. Hmm. And then Seth starts talking, I'm like, yeah, Seth. Hmm. Something's off. This group just doesn't fit each other. Seth is great by himself. He doesn't need a group, and that's early in his career with the Authority. All right, cool, whatever. Do you think? But since then, it's just like Seth doesn't need a group, bro. Seth could be a top heel by himself. He doesn't need a group. The fuck does he need a group for? I don't get it. Yeah, but that's it. That's all I want to talk about. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.